Now he wants to take his place as your next president. But does America really need, you know, another really wealthy guy in the White House? I don't know. But he's here to tell us why he thinks he should be there. Please welcome Tom Steyer. Hey, Tom. So you were not on the debate stage last night, but what did you think of last night?
Well, I thought the biggest takeaway is that anybody who was on the stage last night or the night before is a million times better than the criminal in the White House. That's the first takeaway.
Right.
But the second takeaway, I actually was listening to the first segment, Whoopi, and I thought you said it exactly right, which is this. Are we really talking about what counts right now for Americans? We're talking about policy. But to me, the biggest question in America is the corporate takeover of our government. We have a government that can't get anything done because corporations have bought it, and we need to return the power to the people, of, by, and for the people, so we can get anything done in the first place. And until we start talking about how we can get things done, what we want to get done is theoretical because the corporations control the government.
So you think that Andrew Yang has some good ideas then?
I do, but I think we're going to have to, what I believe in, and what I've been doing for the last 10 years, is going to the grassroots and taking on corporations time and again and beating them with the power of the people. And that's what we're going to have to do if we're going to get real health care reform, if we're going to get a real Green New Deal, if we're going to get any real important changes in America. We're going to first have to beat the corporations and return the government to the people.
Your presidential campaign. In January, you announced in a press conference that you were not running for president.
Yes.
And then last month, you changed your mind, which is known to happen in politics, and you decided to join this crowded race. There's already 20-some people running. Was there nobody in that 20-plus field of candidates that you wanted to see be president?
Anna, I really couldn't sleep. I changed my mind.
Get an IKEA bed.
I want a $100 gift certificate first.
Well, he said any of them could be better than the one.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I don't think we're dealing with the two real issues that are standing between us and the greatest society anybody can ever imagine. And that is, one, we really need to break the corporate stranglehold on our government. And two, we need to stabilize the climate. And those are immediate things that we need to start on immediately and urgently. And if we do those two things, if you could imagine us having done those, we're going to have an ability to deliver a life for every American that is better than we understand. We will get health care for every single American. We will get free public education, pre-K through college with continuing skill job. The money's there, Whoopi.
Oh, I know the money's there, but you're not saying, listen, we got to tell these guys in big business and all of these corporations like Amazon and all of them, Facebook, all of them, you got to pay your fair share. That's what I want to hear you say.
Oh, and I absolutely believe that.
Okay.
I believe the tax, the way, it's true. No, Whoopi was right.
It's Andrew.
Whoopi was absolutely right.
Citizens United as well. It's a combination.
You start, but if you look at the taxes, that's the result of them controlling the government. When you see a tax break that goes overwhelmingly to the richest corporations and the richest people at the expense of every other American, you know they're running the government. And you got to break that stranglehold.
How do you get that?
And Citizens United is what they hang
the Supreme Court also allowed
How do you
them
get that point across to Trump supporters? They don't seem to get it.
Actually, you know, I think...
Mr. Steyer, with all due respect, we had the Starbucks guy on, too, and you are, much like him, a billionaire who's never held elected office, never worked in government, never served our country in the military. We already have a billionaire. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
We already have a billionaire businessman in the White House, and it's not going so great. And one of the few things that unites this table is we all think government experience or military experience is important. So no disrespect, nothing you're saying is resonating with me at all.
Well, let me say this.
She means
For the last 10 years, I have put together coalitions of Americans to take on corporate power and won. So that involves direct democracy, going on and taking on oil companies in propositions around the country, taking on tobacco companies who'd won 17 times in a row and beating them at the ballot box by going to the people, doing that directly, and also organizing the largest grassroots organization in the United States.
But you have not proven that you can inspire people to elect you to any office.
Actually, what I'm talking about here is if we're going to reform this government, isn't it going to have to be from the outside in the grassroots that it's going to come?
Yeah. Well,
Isn't it going to be the power of the American people deciding that we together have to take back this government?
what I have found very interesting about you is that you were instrumental by many people's accounts for raising and putting in almost $100 million of your own money and changing the face of the 2018 election by getting more Democrats into office than any other time in our recent memory.
Right. In 2018, the organization I started, Next Gen America, focused on 38 Republican House seats and went and organized young people. It was the largest youth voter mobilization in American history. And in those districts, the turnout from the previous 4 years, the previous midterm election, went from 18% to 41%.
And how many seats did you flip?
33?
And 33 of those seats were flipped.
Yes.
33 out of 38.
But today,
That's money.
no, that's organization and vision.
So
some
you were
people-
out campaigning with them, and that's what made the difference. It's not just. I just think people, billionaires, put your money where your mouth is with these candidates. I just don't understand.
What he did.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. But why run yourself
Megan, just so you
instead
know,
of funding them?
For the last 7 years, I've done this from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. every single day. As part of our organizations, I go on campus and register kids. I go and talk to them. I knock on doors. I've done roundtables all over this country because if you want to represent Americans, you've got to look them in the eye and understand what it means to pay $360 a month for your drugs. What it means if you don't have clean water because the state government won't buy a water treatment facility for your poor rural district and your husband's dying of kidney failure. You have to go do the work. For the last 7 years, that's all I've done.
So the question is, why not just put that money into 2020 for Democrats? Why are you running yourself?
So here's the answer. I am going to do all those things in 2020. I've guaranteed that I'll continue doing all of the grassroots organizing that we've done, that we will knock on the doors, that we will be on the campuses, that we'll be all over social media talking to young people. But
hold on.
So we get a two-for.
Hold on.
We're coming back.
We're going to come back with more with Tom Steyer when we come back.